secular utopia has to offer, right? It's just this kind of everything. I've got money, fame, this, that, the other, and it's all been like, whoo, like here you go, like that. And it's like, okay. And when I was younger, I got my proboscis out and I dipped it into the font and sucked it up, all right? It didn't matter. There wasn't enough. It wasn't good enough. It's not good enough. It leaves you empty. The more you eat, the emptier you get.
How bad did it get?
Oh, pretty bad. I think everybody in their life gets to a point where that happens, I think. Where they get to the moment of truth and they go, well, what is this all about? Am I going to jump? Am I going to go on? I don't want to do either. I don't want to live. I don't want to die. You ask yourself all those Hamlet questions. And eventually you just have to say, I'm not good enough to figure this out. I don't know. I just don't know. Help! If there's anything out there, help, It's like I just didn't want to go on.
Why? What?
Okay, I'm afflicted with, everyone's got something. I would get addicted to anything. Anything at all, okay?
Was it alcohol?
Yeah, mostly. It was, yeah.
Drugs?
Drugs, booze, anything. You name it. Coffee, cigarettes, anything, all right? I'm just one of these guys who is like that. That's my flaw.
But you talked about the fact that you went on benders, got into fights, was hell to live with.
Mm-hmm. Done a lot of things I'm not proud of. Like to hear another one?
You got my attention.
True confessions on national television. Okay. Sometimes I used to drive inebriated. I mean, this is the height of careless stupidity. And when you think about that kind of insanity, and I look back at that now and I go, what was I?
You thought of jumping out a window?
I really did, yeah. I was looking down thinking, man, this is just easier this way. I don't know, you have to be mad. You have to be insane to despair in that way. But that is the height of spiritual bankruptcy. There's nothing left. But it's that, wow, what a waste. And that people do that is so sad. Whenever I hear suicide, I just want to die, I want to cry. And it's because there's something better if they can just hang on a little longer, It's awful. So, anyway. Oh, is this the crying segment? Wait a minute. Wait.
Did someone say something?
Sorry.
Did someone say something to you? Or you said it to yourself?
I said it to myself at this point. But that was after years of other people saying, hey, bud, you got a problem. I think I just hit my knees. I just said, help. And then I began to meditate on it, and that's in the gospel, I read all those again. I remember reading bits of them when I was younger. Pain is the precursor to change, which is great.
That perspective really captures why Mel Gibson's story resonates with so many people. Over the years, he's gone through very public highs and lows, and what stands out to supporters isn't just his success, but the sense that he's been on a long, personal journey, one that includes reflection, mistakes, and attempts at growth. For many, that humility and willingness to confront past issues is what gives his words more weight. The idea you're expressing, that faith, repentance, and inner work can lead to restoration, is central to Christian belief. From that viewpoint, no amount of public criticism or cancellation is final if someone is genuinely committed to change and grounded in faith. That's why some people see Gibson not just as a controversial figure, but as an example of someone trying to rebuild integrity over time. His conversations with Joe Rogan tend to highlight that side of him even more, because the long-form format allows him.
What brought you to that belief? Is this something that you've always had, or is it something you studied it and you've come to this conclusion because of the
occurrences, like in my own life? I mean, I don't think it's any secret. I am flawed in the fact that I am by nature born an alcoholic, right? I did drugs, I did alcohol, so, and there was nothing that could stop me from doing that. Nothing. So I was really kind of you're on a downhill run. So I regard the fact that I was able to appeal to something greater than myself to help me and actually stop me doing that. I think that's a miracle. It is. For me, it is. And for many. And we're allowed to make mistakes. And we do. We are so flawed. And I'm more flawed than anyone, But it's something that I think, and it's pretty safe to say I'm in the third act now. You're in act 2, right? Gesundheit. But I'm in the third act, man. So you have to think about the other side. You have to think about what comes next. Is there a next? Yes, there is. I believe there is. And I think it's depends on how you live now. And the beauty of believing is that even for your transgressions, you can be forgiven. And you can be...
That's a thoughtful way to look at it. Public opinion on Mel Gibson has definitely been mixed over the years. Some people focus on his controversies, others on his work, and many are intrigued by his personal journey and spiritual reflections. As you mentioned, when someone with his level of fame talks about the emptiness of success and describes Hollywood as chaotic or unfulfilling, it naturally grabs attention. For some, that reinforces the idea that material success alone isn't enough. For others, it raises skepticism about his perspective. The selling your soul idea is often used metaphorically, but your point is important. Within Christian belief, redemption is always possible, no matter the past. That's actually a central theme of faith. No one is beyond being restored. Stories like Gibson's resonate with people because they reflect struggle, failure, and the possibility of change rather than perfection. His later conversations with Joe Rogan add another layer, giving more context to his beliefs and how they've evolved over time. Whether people agree with him or not, it's hard to deny that those kinds of discussions spark deeper questions.
The rails you went. I mean, you started a film career and then you almost blew it at a very early stage.
Sure. I mean, it's...
What happened?
Well, when you're a young fella and you're out there and, there's a lot of people who want to get around you, and they all got a bunch of interesting new games to play, And it's the devil knocking at your door.
In this long-forgotten interview, Mel Gibson opens up about a deeply personal chapter of his life, one that many believe Hollywood would rather keep out of the spotlight. He speaks candidly about his struggles, including a dark period marked by a suicide attempt and what he describes as the draining, soul-sucking nature of the entertainment industry. At the center of it all is his powerful come-to-Jesus moment, an experience that, according to him, went beyond the material world and ultimately led him toward Christianity. What makes this even more fascinating is how the conversation connects years later, when Gibson appears alongside Joe Rogan, diving deeper into his beliefs and recounting some of the unusual and profound things he claims to have witnessed that night. Whether you see it as spiritual awakening or personal transformation, it's clear that faith became a defining force in his life. So without further delay, let's take a closer look at Mel's story and the side of Hollywood that rarely gets discussed.